I decided to make a horror battle vest for my dog. This is Otis, or aka Mr. Otis, aka Professor Peapaws. He pretty much runs the house, and yes, he's named after Otis Firefly or Otis Driftwood from House of a Thousand Corpses and from the Devil's Rejects. So we will be putting a Devil's Rejects patch on his vest, of course. He is my favorite little fur baby. So I had to cut the sleeve holes on this vest a little bit because they were a little too small, and my Mr. Otis is such a Hulk. He'd Hulk right out of it. But I did notice, as I was pointing out to you earlier, that the seams were framed because I cut it, so I had to reinforce it, which here is already done. So we're going to get started by figuring out the placement of the patches. Now that the patches are in places that I like, I think this looks good, I'm going to use these little pins to pin them in place. The majority of the patches that I'm using are iron-on, but I never iron them on because they will eventually peel off. So I'm going to hold them in place and sew all of the patches on. This Good Guys patch up on top, I actually made myself a couple years ago. I was Chucky for one of my Halloween costumes, and I needed something that said Good Guys to put on my overalls, so I just made my own patch, but then I decided to save it because I liked it. And now I'm repurposing it. I am most definitely not a seamstress, and I don't particularly like sewing, so I try to do the best I can. But to kind of help with how it looks, most of the time I try to use the same color thread as the border on the patch so you don't see what a crappy job I did sewing it. Although on the Good Guys patch later on and the, was it the Museum of Death from LA patch, I will kind of sew it in a way that looks more punk and use white thread instead of black, as you can see here in this picture. And what vest would be complete without studs? So I'm going to use a large, well, medium I guess size pyramid spike, but I'm only going to put it on the collar because in case they come apart or the little things underneath that hold it in bend out, I don't want it to accidentally poke Otis, so this way it'll have fabric in between him and the pyramid spikes, so this way he won't get hurt. And this is the completed vest. This way you can see the patches a little bit better. I think it turned out pretty good, and he doesn't seem to mind wearing it too much, which is a good thing because he usually doesn't like to wear clothes. And I think he looks pretty tough. That tough pup. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. If you like, give a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.